I'm talking again. I feel like I'm about to start scream crying. It's okay. Um, I was like, let me talk about a heartbreak while eating pancakes. The pancakes are still steaming if you look closely. Are they any good? Ratios were off. Pan was too hot. But at the same time, at least this is a sweet mistake that keeps me warm at night and doesn't touch me when I'm sleeping. I'm feeling sad because of my breakup with Jared. So I guess this is a continuation video off of the last one, so I can at least guide myself through the process. Now, where we left off, in the last video I mentioned, I was talking about how I basically had the plan of, you know what, I have things I want on this planet, and I am willing to play the long game with this man and pretend that everything is roses and daisies while I secretly mock him to my closest best friends online. And then I get to have the joy of gifts and consistent sex and some dates. And then if I do this long run, maybe even some more bigger scale gifts when he's so in love with me. And I'm willing to sacrifice to just put it all behind me on the outside. And then on the inside, just curse him whenever I can. And then anytime he pisses me off, I'm just quiet and I add another tally to the list of things he did to fuck up. And then I request an even bigger gift. And that is the price of keeping me around after he hurt me. That's what the game plan was. As we were talking, eventually, I had a meetup. Funny enough, this happened after a fight. We were just arguing for hours over the phone on some verbally abusive shit. As usual, I was trying to be sweet and communicative and all that shit. He was being a cunt. He does this thing where, he pretends to not understand what I'm saying just so that he could use an excuse to call me all sorts of bullshit in the so-called heat of the moment. There's no heat at the moment, it's just him instigating. And then after ages and ages of him just being verbally abusive and a piece of shit. And also his logic is that it's not verbal abuse if it's over text. He's a fucking idiot, as you can imagine. Either way, he was trying to use his kid as a pawn. And I already knew, okay, he's a top tier shithead because he's trying to do this. He's done it one single time before, but basically, in a nutshell, somehow in the argument, it came up he was like, get a fucking life. And I said, I do have a fucking life. In fact, I have plans this weekend, and I'm gonna have fun without you. And he was like, oh yeah, what are your plans? And then I said, I'm gonna go to the fucking Cherry Blossom in Japantown. And then he was like, oh, really? That's this, they do that? And he kind of paused on his shitheadery, and he was like, they do that? And I was like, yeah, in Japantown. Over in San Francisco. He was like, oh, we're a bit. And then next thing you know, we were talking, still saying snarky shit to each other. But eventually he did just straight up say, hey, me and you aren't gonna hang out or whatever. But if you want, I can give you a ride with my daughter into the city. I might as fucking well. You're on the way. I was not on the way. I could tell he just wanted to see me and was using that as an excuse. But I was gonna take it because at first I was like, fuck this nigga. Fuck this nigga. I don't need him for shit. I was about to fully just give up on my plan. But then I was like, you know what? It's the least he could do. He's a piece of shit. Let's just say I kind of knew what to do because I have a lot of social skills and psychology and color theory. So I just was like, I know the exact colors that I need to dress to make a child like me. I know the clothing I should wear so that I look non-threatening and friendly like a teacher or like Mary fucking Poppins. And also look sexy and wholesome to him as well. I wore these nice skin-tight black boots. And on top of those, I had this nice halter top purple mauve flower print dress that cascaded around my legs beautifully and flowed very nicely. It was gorgeous. I wore this gold Monet necklace, some gold little flowery earrings. I wore a nice little ring. I forget which ring I wore, doesn't fucking matter. I did my hair specifically back in a nice sticked back manner, put my cute little beret on top. I made sure I looked like the most wholesome, non-threatening girl ever. I made sure the lipstick and lip gloss matched the outfit colors. I made sure that my jacket showed that I wasn't just some hyper-femme bitch and that I also had a bit of a rugged tomboy side because you never know with kids, especially young girls. They don't always like hyper-feminine women. I know that from experience, and I just went, this is perfect. And I also got her a small gift because let's just say when me and him were fighting, I would say some very mean things about him and whoever was in his life. So I just went, okay, you know what? Let me get her a necklace. So that, because I got her this cute little neck. I mean, no, it was a pair of earrings. They looked like cute little cherry blossoms, and I gave them to her. She seemed to like them. She blushed. We went into the city. We had a great time. Vibes were flowing. And, I also was just kind of like, surprise, surprise, we did end up hanging out. Like, it took forever to find parking. We were all vibing well. So we were just like, you know what, let's check some shit out. Samia lead the way. I led the way the best I could. I got to convince him to get some shit for his kid. I had a little spare change, and I remember I was paying for some arcade games and shit for his kid because, I don't fuck with that nigga, but his kid didn't do any harm and she was adorable and shit. We have the same birthday and everything. Love you, little girl. But eventually the machine ate like $5 and I was so mad. And he could tell I was hella upset too. Because my finances at the time were not that great. And then he just looked at me and said, I got you, I got you. I didn't know what he meant by that. But then later that evening, he took me and his kid out to this expensive sushi restaurant. And we got to listen to jazz music and joke around and have a good time. Beautiful memory. But I also noticed that he still was being stingy. I didn't like that, but whatever. But I will say this. Some time passed, maybe like a few days or so, and then out of nowhere, he just like, it suggests, like, hey, I know you're struggling with your laundry. How about me and you do like a hangout where we like, I help you take care of your laundry? I was like, that could be pretty cool, yeah. And so I guess the plan at first, like, he thought, okay, I'm gonna come to her city. We go to a local laundromat and just sit there in the laundromat and talk or whatever. What actually happened was he realized, oh shit, my dad out of town. My dad in Hercules, he's out of town. You want to just come to Hercules with your laundry? Because we got a pool and everything. Just grab a swimsuit. Funny enough, I'm wearing the swimsuit that I had packed to Hercules. Very nice. So, me, his daughter, and him, we get some donuts. He gets me this flavor that I fucking hate, but that's not really relevant to the story. I just feel like saying it. We drive all the way out there and we start having a chill time. Like, we start doing goofy shit all together as a group. He does like, he jokes around with me. Things are good energy. And I'm thinking, okay, this is a pretty nice time. I'm definitely not going to have sex with him. And I can tell that he wants to fuck me, but that I'm not going to do it. And because, no, he's still a disrespectful piece of shit. Anyway, let's just say after food got put on the grill, and then after, I don't know, one thing led to another. Laundry was getting done, and I was looking at all the cute stuff I had, and he was like, why don't you ever wear this for me? And he saw some of the cute panties I have, and he has a panty fetish. So, moving on with the story, let's just keep it short. One thing led to another. After we ate food, we went in his pool, we swam around and horsed around. Next thing you know, we were in the jacuzzi, and that's when he got really, I don't know, he really liked the sight of me in my swimsuit. I would show you it fully, but I don't feel like objectifying myself. Just, just no thank you. This pancake burnt as fuck. I gotta spit this out. Hi. Sorry, if it wasn't obvious, I'm extremely depressed. It's almost like 4 a.m. It's like 3:42 right now, and I got done making a bunch of burnt, fucking disgusting pancakes and ate a lot of bacon and eggs to cope with the fact that I am extremely sad because it's like I really cared for this dude and we had a falling out tonight. But whatever, it's not my fucking fault. All summed up, that day we were at the jacuzzi and he just decided to pull me closer and was kind of admiring me. His kid kind of noticed that, and I noticed that she started getting quiet, and I just kind of thought, Jared, you fucking idiot. If she doesn't know that we have ever dated, and just like, she thinks we're friends, why are you doing this? He's not a smart man. But don't worry, I'm not smart either. To make a long story short, at some point, me and him fucked in the laundry room, and then, like, we thought we were quiet. Apparently not. I guess the kid came upstairs and just heard the sounds of, like, daddy! Oh, fuck, God, it's in! Oh, fuck, it's so thick! And all the other sounds and shit, and through the door, and, like, we thought we were being quiet. I guess fucking not. We thought she was all the way downstairs, like, outside in the backyard, or in the living room. I didn't know she would hear us just having muffled fucking sex in the... Anyway. So then that became a huge calamity, and this is the exact point where, how do I put this? Already, but when we were in the laundry room and he was flirting with me and I was kind of like sexily pinned against this wall, and I remember he had very nice hair, very nice arms, very nice jawline, beautiful eyes, cute lips, and I was just thinking to myself, fuck, I'm still really attracted to this motherfucker. My pussy just throbbed right now just thinking about him. And that makes me want to cry thinking about, but it's okay. I'll sum it up like this. Even in that moment, I knew if I have sex with him, I'm gonna lose. Like, I'm not gonna win some grand prize of like an amazing tennis necklace or a fancy trip or this or that. I have to be really assured that if I just were to fuck him and then we go back to being normal or friends or nothing else came from it, that would be fine with me. I chose what I chose in the moment. The sex was pretty damn good, I gotta admit. I remember being kind of mad at myself, but I was like, you know what? The dick is worth it, and fuck it. You know, I can always just see other people. I can always just, yeah. I just kind of was like, it doesn't really fucking matter in the long run, because I can just leave this man at any time, and oh well, he's had good sex. But then his daughter heard, and then it was like, oh fucking shit. And this is the exact point, like I said, where I did start to fall back into my normal emotions. It's like, okay, shit, I had sex with him because I still have a fucking attraction to him. I still recognize him as a toxic piece of shit. But at the same time, I still do care for him, and I do care for the welfare of his kid. I remember specifically his kid was like, she's 9, and she was scream crying ridiculously hard. And he could not get her to speak for a bit, and I just kind of knew, okay, there's not much I can do but wait this out. So I waited downstairs, and I just kind of kicked my feet in the pool. And to set the scene, I was wearing this dark blue dress. It was like dusk or so, like that nice, like sunsetty bluish sky tint. And I was just sitting there observing the full moon, just thinking, wow, universe, this is strange. I didn't expect any of this to happen. Here I was thinking we would just do laundry and that I would not have sex with him for a very long time, if ever. Shit. And now here I am, traumatizing some little girl of his, and I might have just fucked up a family dynamic forever. And I felt bad. He eventually came down and just was like, yeah, she's not talking to me. I don't know what's up. And he just put his hand on my thigh and was like, are you feeling okay? I'm really sorry you're dealing with this. And I said, what? Why are you apologizing to me? Like, that's your daughter's the one who is the traumatized one. I'm just someone who had sex in a laundry room. Like, if anything, are you okay? Because, like, I imagine you're under a lot of stress right now. She sounded really fucking bent up in there. She sounded traumatized. And I just, like, I made it clear that it's like, I am not the priority. Your priority is your kid and how you are feeling. Like, I'm the least important person in this scenario because I'm just someone who had sex in a laundry room. And, like, it's totally rational for your kid to be feeling that way. And we talked, and he held my hand, and he just told me how much he really appreciated that I was there. And that he appreciated that no one, that he feels like anyone else would have just, like, if they were in that same situation, they would have been so mortified and insisted on being taken home, or they would have made a scene or bitched out his daughter. I kind of doubt that, but I'd never know. And I just talked to him, and I was like, yeah, that would be a strange reaction. If anything, like, yeah, you're cool, dude. And I truly did care. And I remember he looked at me with a lot of love in his eyes, and I looked at him back, feeling the same way. And I thought, fuck, I do have feelings for him. And now I'm sad again. Fuck. Well, whatever. But that was still nice. And then let's just say the rest of the evening was a bit highs and lows. The lows would be like, obviously, the girl crying, and at some point she even physically attacked her dad. It was kind of awkward. Freud would have a fucking field day with this shit. It's like, Jesus Christ. Aside from that, there were other things too. Highs would be like, we convinced her to come out of her room in exchange for some ice cream, me teaching her some witchcraft shit, and also, if I taught her some swear words. I taught her what the C word means. I taught her the word cunt with her dad's permission. And like, she managed to come outside and was a lot more calm and relaxed. Also, she got to tell her dad to go fuck himself, and that seemed to make her feel better because I guess she was feeling like she was gonna get replaced by me on some like subconscious level, like that she wouldn't be the most important person. Definitely not the case. I definitely not. Oh yeah, I forgot. Then when I met her in Japan, when I was in the car with her on the way to Japantown, I also gave her a letter that I made clear, like, hey, me and your dad are just friends, but if I'm ever hanging out with him too much, let me know. I will tell him to back off. And I hope she still knows that I meant that. Anyway, fast forward to that evening, yeah. Highs and lows, things, good things happen, bad things happen. The next day, she may or may not have threatened suicide at her school. Very complex, lots of layers to it that I'm not going to expose on the internet, but it was very much like a heart stopper moment. And I'll put it this way. If I was really gonna manipulate a guy and just be some uncaring gold digger who is just gonna steal his money and his soul, I would not be putting in effort to try to bond with a kid. I would not be giving him advice on, hey, this is how you should probably talk to that kid about the way their mom died that you've been hiding as a secret their whole fucking, like, for the past 3 fucking years. Hey, like, and even anytime they had a fight over the past, like, 2 days, I was secretly texting him or just summoning him quietly to other corners, like, hey, listen, you sounded kind of aggressive there, or like, hey, listen, maybe approach her this way and say this and that, and like, and hell, let's just say we ended up dating again until this passing, like, last Sunday, so like a week ago. That's when we recently separated. And I don't know, let's just say if a bitch was really trying to be a manipulative hoe who was gonna play long game and steal you of your money and fuck up your life and all this shit and that shit and be uncaring, I would not be in a situation where I was playing fucking family therapist. I would, like, really. At that point, it's like, okay, yes, I still love this man, sadly. Because he's not, like, he is that. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, it's like a lasagna of a person. It's like a layer of sweet, a layer of spice, a layer of evil, a layer of sweetness, and then on and on and on and on and on. And then you're just like, okay, I don't know what you are at your core, but I guess you're both. It's like, okay, so you're the sweet man who kisses me tenderly and tells me all these romantic words and does all these thoughtful things because you want to show you care about me, but you're also the evil bitch who said that I was a flat-assed, ugly whore who was going to die alone and friendless. So, like, it's like, I always kept that in mind though. So let's just say I went from 100% 10 toes down on my game plan to like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, shake it all about, like in and out, like 50% invested in like 50% like, oh, I still adore this guy and I'm gonna date him and give him a chance to prove that he is not just gonna be some sexual predator, violent, fucking verbally abusive motherfucker. And for a few months he actually did well. But I also deep down in my head, if he slips up, I leave. If he fucks up, I leave. If he makes me feel bad or unsafe or like we aren't compatible, I'm leaving. And let's just say he hit me up today, actually. It's actually the reason I'm sad. He hit me up today on some bullshit, like, just to fucking. He hit me up. At first, he claimed it was just him wanting to know how I was doing, but I know him. Let's just say, after a little bit of pleasant conversation, he just was like, ooh, I saw your YouTube video. I know that you've just been using me for money all along. I'm heartbroken and hurt about it, but have a good night. Hope you got what you needed out of it. And I explained, like, hey, dude, that was just part one of the video. I didn't even get to post part two yet. And he's like, there's a part two, and we talked a bit about that. He didn't fully believe me, but I don't give a shit. I do not care at this point. I'm making this video with with hate in my heart and my soul, but also just feeling like honesty hour. Not to make him feel good, but to make me feel good. Also, these pancakes are burnt to shit and way too big and thick, but I will say, using apple juice in pancake mix instead of water is a god tier decision. I love my life. Anyway, let's just say, eventually he got to being nosy and he tried to ask me if I've been on any dates or been moving on to anybody. And, like, it's like, okay, damned if I do tell him the truth, damned if I don't. I decided to tell him the truth, and I just was like, yeah, I've been on a few. And then next thing you know, he was calling me all types of slut, whore, I bet you're sucking old men's wrinkly balls, yada yada yada, just hella out of pocket. And I'm just like, nigga, you don't have to be this way. Stop asking questions that you don't want answered. That nigga was pulling a Seamus, and if you watch my other videos, you know who Seamus is and what he did. Like, Jesus Christ. Me and him started talking some more. This fucking bitch. Do you know? Let's just say shit hit the fan. Let's just say a lot of bad shit got said on his behalf and mine. He wished death on me. I wished death on. I struck him worse. Let's just say with my words, but I didn't care at that point. Because for context, I actually, in the week we were apart, I had considered offing myself. I didn't do it, obviously. I just got, thankfully, I slept that shit off and then went out and socialized and had fun. God bless. Thank God I chose to do that. Had a great night that night. It was like the universe wanted to go easy on me because they knew I was having a bad time. Continuing on. Also, these actually are good as fuck. They're just burnt, that's all. Alright. I gotta sit up or else I'm gonna fucking digest weird. So to sum up the rest of this, me and Jared, we tried talking tonight. We had more of a falling out. And he does this annoying thing where he's such a stubborn and fucking insecure man. He's 32 for context, and I'm 23. It's very pathetic being able to out communicate him and be like respectable. Because it's like, yeah. Like, he'd be like, ooh, I bet you're sucking an old man dick. And you're just gonna get used and abused. None of these rich men are gonna fucking want you. You're not gonna have a good, like, they're not gonna take you fucking anywhere. You're just gonna end up pumped and dumped all alone in the same place as fucking always. And it's like, sir, you were just saying how you're so happy for me being happy and, like, be normal. Be normal. Me and this nigga got talking more. And let's just say it got so vulgar and disrespectful and evil. And yeah, there's not much more to say to that. But eventually, he does this thing where it's some, like I said, he does that thing. He needs to let out all his rage and emotions by like just attacking you as hard as he can. And then me, I'm better at roasting. I attacked that nigga in every single fucking way, shape, and form. I brought up his fucking ex-girlfriend who passed away. I brought up his mom abandoning him. I brought up as much shit as I could for like an hour fucking straight until finally he was just giving like one or two word answers. And I was like, okay, I finally wore his ass down. And I just told his ass, listen, do you want to be a good role model for your kid? How's your kid gonna learn? Like, your kid has that habit of shutting down and then lashing out. And I wonder where they get it from, because if they don't get it from her, if she doesn't get it from her fucking deceased mother, she obviously gets it from you, because that's how you communicate whenever you're angry, and she's seen that. So how about this? Do you really want to be communicating this poorly when she's older, and then she learns to, like, she doesn't learn how to communicate properly and has fucked up relationships like this? Or wouldn't it be embarrassing if she managed to grow up and like you were in your 60s and she was married and happy and you still could not communicate properly and were still fighting with the bitches on some bullshit like this? And I just laid it all out for him. And I said, if you want, you're in a place where you will not get attacked. You can tell me exactly how you feel. You can be as vulnerable as you want. Just, I know you want to ask me something. I know you want to ask. Just go ahead and ask. It took some wearing down, but he did finally just get vulnerable and say, okay, I don't want you to insult me. I don't want any more negativity. I don't want this. I feel heartbroken, and I have to wonder, was any of it real? Did you ever really love me, or was it just for money? Were you just using me? I feel confused and used and not good about all of this, and I don't want this. And I just made it clear. I basically told him everything I've told you in this video so far. I said, if I really didn't love you back then, I would have just laughed my ass off and then left. I would have not, like, I would have been like, oh, you got issues with your kid? Haha, not my problem. I'm going home. I'm gonna break your heart after all of this and also traumatize your kid. Like, if I was an evil, disgusting person, actually, I don't even think I would do that on my worst fucking day, but that's just an example. Me, I'm a nice fucking person. Like, I hate to break it to you. I have a soul and morals, dumbass. So I just made it clear. It's like, no, I had feelings for you. And we talked, and then he did kind of just slip up and say, we were doing so well until this passing Sunday. And I said, and? And I forget what happened after that. I don't know whose hair this is. Ew. There was a hair in my pancake. It was blonde. Might be Jared's. Fuck if I know. I don't care. Oh. Or my housemates. I did. Ew. Well, whatever. Focus on the topic. Let's just say me and Jared got to talking. Nigga got disrespectful, and then I guess he it got calm, and then he got disrespectful again, because simply put, he was like, ooh, it was all good until this passing Sunday. I said, and I said, maybe it just wasn't meant to work out. And he said, maybe so. And I said, yeah, like, not, it's not all bad, like, You're not a bad looking guy. You have a lot of personality. It won't be hard for you to find anyone else, even though it did take him 6 years to actually find a woman who was interested in him and have sex with him. I get it. Like, I get it. It's hard for men, and it's easy for someone like me. But still, I made it clear, like, you're an attractive enough fella. You do have options. Go for them. And he was just kind of mad. He was like, no, life's not going to be the same ever again. And he was just exaggerating it, talking about how his life would never be the same again after losing me and fumbling me. Sweet concept, but still doesn't really change anything. Now, oh, I'm sorry, this is tasty. Oh my, see, this is a non-burnt one. I saved the best for last because I guess I don't know. I don't know. What can I say? I choose pancakes like I choose my men. I seem to like going for the bad ones first. But if I really had to sum it up, he pissed me off so motherfucking bad. Because it's like he was doing that pity shit where it's like, no, life's not going to be the same ever again. It feels like I lost something big. And I was kind of quiet. And then he got kind of, he just immediately beeline into insulting. I forget what he said specifically, but all I know is he tried to wrap it into, ooh, it feels like I was trying to chase after someone that I was never going to have in the first place, or that they didn't even want to be kept. Like they didn't ever want to be held or adored by anybody. I said, that's not true, and you know it. I was very much receptive to our relationship. I just left because we had long term incompatibilities, and also you groping me all that time. And this nigga just basically, he got so mad, and then he was trying to say some slick shit to piss me off, just like Seamus did. He just was like, ooh, well, yeah, maybe we were supposed to never be a thing. Maybe I was supposed to never pick you up that one Thursday night. And I said, yeah, I agree. Maybe you shouldn't have. And then he was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. I shouldn't have. And then I kind of joked like, hey, I could have kept some Bumble matches if you didn't. And it was true. I had some bitch niggas that wanted to take me to Napa and shit. Anyway, he got super mad. Then he was like, fuck you, Tamia. Fuck you. And then he sent me a message saying that my pussy was loose, even though we all know that's not true. He was just upset. But whatever the fuck. I don't care. It's like you can't have it anymore, and it's kind of weird that you think this bitch has a loose pussy. I should, like, sexually assault her because she's not giving it up. Like, that's not. I don't think you would do that to someone with bad pussy. Not to say rape victims all have good pussy. You shut the fuck up. You get what I mean, don't you? Cooking pancakes in bacon fat is good at the sacrifice of your hands. But of course, most people don't eat pancakes with hands. I gotta pause and say, these pancakes taste like heaven. I just bit off the crispy edge, but the soft, silky middle, and the apple juice undertones with the cinnamon, and the bacon fat to tie it all together. Mm. I think I gained weight in my sleep overnight. I heard that it is a thing. If you eat and then go immediately to sleep, your body and your metabolism will slow down and not process it all. So it just turns into fat. Some people say not to do it because it'll make you fat or whatever. Me, I think it's good because I woke up yesterday after eating a big ass meal and going to bed. I woke up like, why do my titties feel so heavy? Wait, what's this in the back? I have an ass now? Oh my god! And the waist was still on slim, so bon appetit, bitch. Alright, to wrap this up, I so me and him were talking. He started saying some slick shit. Next thing you know, he was insulting me again, saying some fucked up shit, and that's where we cut off. And let's just say, obviously, bitches feel heartbroken when men say, I don't know, because here, like, I was having a perfectly fine evening before. Funny enough, I've been doing pretty good this whole breakup. Like, sure, there are some moments where it's like, ooh, I just want to lay in bed and rot all day and look at photos of us together and masturbate to the idea of him having me again and like grieving the fact that I can't hang out and see his daughter again because me and her got to hang out a few other times and she's really cool. We have a lot in common. And just that all sucks, but at the same time, it's like I've had several really good dates recently. Even this morning, I remember I woke up feeling like fucking shit. I just spent all morning masturbating like fucking 13 times in a row, maybe even more. And I was like, do I cancel on this date or do I persevere? And I thought to myself, if I cancel on this date, then I lose out on what could be a great date, and Jared wins, and I would just rather be happy. And so I decided I'm gonna be happy. And I did my skincare routine, showered, found this dope ass outfit, did my hair right, my makeup looked amazing, and I had a fantastic time eating expensive, exquisite food at a Michelin star restaurant, having amazing conversation and learning about the war in Afghanistan from the guy. Very pleasant time. We loved that. And yeah, and then let's just say, I guess later on I got home and slept, and by the time I woke up, that's when Jared contacted me just to see if he was blocked or not. And he claims he was drunk, but I doubt it. But let's just say that's where he started the whole, "Ooh, I'm just checking in. Now, how are you doing?" type shit. And then he got really verbally abusive. He does a lot of dumb shit. He's not a smart man. Like, sometimes it makes me actually physically wish death on him. He's the type of guy where he'll be like, "Ooh, I only contacted you just to see how you were doing. Nothing else." And it's like, deep down, it's like, "Sir, I know you're actually just trying to see if you're blocked or not and trying to spark up a conversation with me because you really want me back." He'll be like, "Oh, yeah." Like, he'll make little jokes or quips about my dating life, but then the second I actually say anything real or fake about my dating life, suddenly he wants to stop talking immediately. And suddenly it's, "Fuck you, bitch. Never talk to me again. I'm going to bed. Have a good night." And it's like, "Sir, we know that you're jealous. You're not good at pretending you're not." He'll say some shit like, "Ooh, I don't care if you're seeing anybody else," and then absolutely flips his fucking lid at the idea of me having a date with someone else. He'll be like, "I'm not trying to make you jealous," but then he used to do this. He has done several dumbass things. Like, hell, several times in the past, he would get salty with me because he'd say some shit like, "Ooh, I have a date planned." And I'd be like, "I hope it works well for you." And then he would just shoot me like a dirty look, hella mad, because it's like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna hang up the phone and cry and be a little bitch like you. Like, I have a cuck fetish, bitch." Fuck it. I don't care, fuck the bitch. Don't fuck her and send me a video. I'm not gonna get mad, I'm gonna masturbate to her. Fucking stupid. I love my life so much. These pancakes are fucking amazing. And he also, I remember once we actually did have, like, he does dumb shit and pretends he doesn't, as if I'm stupid. And it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, imagine you're watching like a 3-year old that thinks they're slick by like walking up to you and then like with a bucket of fucking, I don't know, sand, and then they look you in the eye and then dump sand on your feet and then run off and hide very poorly behind like a pole. And then when you approach them and you're like, "Hey, I saw you do that," they just go, "No, I didn't. I didn't do anything. Nuh-uh." And they're so smug, and you think to myself, I just want to end you right now. You're so stupid. But it's like, you can't help but also be kind of immature yourself and bicker back and forth with them. When in reality, you just need to say, "Fuck you, I'm not talking to you again," or you slap the shit out of them. But anyway, I can't slap the shit out of Jared, or just because he's far away right now. Next time I see him, he's gonna get fucked in the face with my hand, Pussy was off the table once he got disrespectful. But just to sum this shit up, he was fucking ridiculous. Like, absolutely fucking ridiculous. I remember once when we were on good terms after a breakup or whatever. This is what I mean by he has tactics that he uses and he thinks he's so smart. Like, he'll use his kid as a ploy. Something he did was once he called me on Instagram video call, and he tried to pretend it was an accident, and he was like, "Hang up then." And I said, "You said it's an accident, you hang up first." And I just wanted to stay on the phone just to prove to him that it was indeed not an accident and that he's staying here because of his own accord. And then lo and behold, he actually did try to instigate flirting and talking to me. It was kind of annoying though, because he also, like, we were just going back and forth saying some heinous, like, evil shit to each other just moments before. So I don't know. Funny enough, I think the context was, it was something like we were talking online on like Instagram or whatever. I broke up with him because shit was hitting the fan and he was verbally abusive or whatever. And then he was like, "Fine, fine. If you want to break up with me, I can't be your friend." And I said, "Okay." And he's like, "Yeah, because I love you too much and I'm not gonna be able to be in your life if I'm just a friend." And I said, "Okay." And he was like, "Yeah, so just deal with the fact that you're never gonna see me again. Not at all after this point, because we aren't dating." I said, "That's cool." And I just fucking he didn't like that. And then 30 minutes went by, and that's when he video called me, And I just was like, hello. And then he was like, hey, I called you on accident. You hang up. And I just knew what he was doing. And I just thought, this is the dumbest motherfucker ever. He thinks he's being slick. It's so actually just Jesus. He makes me want to hit him with a car. Anyway, during that video call, he eventually at some point finds an excuse to put his daughter on the phone. And I just think to myself, you're not supposed to introduce your kid to someone you're not dating. He knows that. He's just trying, it was just tactic. And then I remember that went well. Like, I talked to his kid, talked to him some more, and it was going well. And then this asshole, unprovoked, decides to hold up his phone and also this other phone he has and pretend that he's in another tab, like swiping right on women on Tinder. Imagine the smugness of someone being like, ooh, notifications. Swipe left, right, cute. Ooh, mmm, mmm, mmm. And I kept saying, Jared, I know what you're doing. It's not funny. Stop it. It's actually just pathetic. He kept being like, mm, mm, mm. And I just thought to myself, I want to physically kill this man and just like burn his body in a fire. I was feeling a lot of rage, not inherently out of like jealousy or envy or paranoia, just because it's the pure disrespect of this nigga thinks I'm that fucking stupid. This is like really. And also, I was extra pissed because it's like, you mean to tell me that you and me were on rough terms, and here you are in front of me. We were just flirting, we were just having a good time, we were just talking to your kid, and you want to ruin and sabotage that by being so disrespectful to interrupt a good time by instigating in the way that you are. It's like, I want to call him a slur. There isn't enough slurs for straight white men. We need to invent some right now. He was Jareding up the place, and it was so fucking disgusting. What a fucking Jared. That Jared can kill himself. We're gonna use his name as a slur now. Let's just do it. Fuck Jareds. All my homies hate Jareds. That's an example of what I mean when I say he's one, like, just, So, yeah. Anyway, I probably won't be speaking to him again. Knowing him, he's gonna lurk my social media however way he can. He disturbs me. Kind of debating if I want to turn my pages like that aren't this one private or not, because he is sick in the head. He's a weirdo. But I don't know. How do I put this? He just makes shit difficult. It's like, sir, if you want to talk to me in a positive manner, just talk to me. Don't ask me if I've been on any dates, and don't get mad if I say yes, or like, don't try to don't try negging tactics. Like, don't try negging tactics. Don't try to get in my head saying I'm not worthy of the men who will take me on the dates, or that all men that aren't you are just gonna abuse me. Stop trying to say you're the only person that, like, this is something that annoys me with some people I've dated. The relationship can be going so fucking good, and then they purposely decide, I feel insecure about my emotions with this really hot, loving, awesome girl who I really care about. And it's like they have two options. It's like, option one, just tell her, hey, do you really love me and do you really have feelings for me? I guess I would like to be shown. I would do something like a hug, a kiss, a fondle, a gift, bake a cake, make some cookies, throw a celebration even if I can. Or two, this is what the dumb niggas do. They go, I'm gonna try to neg to Mia. I'm gonna say her pussy divot's really low and that she has uneven titties. I'm gonna say that she isn't that cute and that frankly, I like women who are this type and that type, and I'm gonna casually like start doing less. And if I do anything, I'm gonna start acting like she should be grateful for any fucking thing that I do, and I'm gonna and then they do a lot of weird ass shit, and it's like, sir, be normal. If you like a girl, say the words, I like you. If you miss your ex, tell her, I miss you and I'm sorry and I'm very sad with myself for ruining things. And it will probably hurt, but it will do a lot less damage than, like, hey, Tamia, fuck you, ugly whore. Fuck you, you broke, flat assed bitch. Die in a fire. You have no friends. Like, that's not gonna get you any. Like, no. And he thinks, ooh, I'm gonna bicker with her, and it's gonna get so hot and heavy and intense and passionate that eventually we're gonna have that catharsis and we're gonna have a breakthrough and we're gonna get horny. And then we can, like, be vulnerable and sweet. Then she's gonna wanna fuck me. And then she's my girlfriend again. I already know his thought process because I've been in abusive relationships before him. It's just pathetic. It's like, sir, you're very stupid. I almost slipped up there. You're very fucking stupid.
All you need, like, really, skip the few steps and just be vulnerable. Just say, hey, can I have a vulnerable conversation with you? No judgment, no hatred, no snark, and I promise I won't do the same. And I would have been like, sure. And then he could have said, I really miss you and I'm sad that things went the way they did. And is there any way? Like, I don't know. That's how. It's just like. I get so disappointed because I really be caring about these motherfuckers. I do. Trust me, I do. But when has that gotten me anywhere? I cared about Seamus. He wasn't respectful. I cared about Morgan. He wasn't respectful. I cared about JC. That nigga sucks. And then here's Jared, and it's like, okay, here's this dude I was fantasizing about like a few weeks before about like big beautiful home, yellow themed kitchen, natural sunlight, big garden, fire pit, pool. Fourth of July would be an amazing holiday for us, not because we care about the independence of America or whatever, just because we like fireworks and have an excuse to barbecue. And I just thought about all of that, and I was like, fuck, man. Here I was, enjoying myself and thinking life was gonna go well. So I don't know. That's how I'm feeling as of now. At least I feel better now that it's out my system, but it's disappointing. I've dated so many men like this. And this is kind of what I mean by I tend to have very respectful emotions towards men, but they don't respect themselves enough for me. They'll do shit that harms themselves or others. They'll shoot themselves in the foot just so that they can check that the gun they're about to shoot someone else with is working. They'll do really fucking stupid shit and take the hard way out and just make shit complicated and difficult unnecessarily out of fear or insecurity and just like sorry, I heard something. And they're just fucking weird. So that's what I mean. Anyway, alright, I'll talk to you later. But thanks for listening if you've gotten this far. Hmm. If you're wondering though, the dates I have been going on have been going great, and I've been eating well, and everything seems to be going mostly lovely. God bless, amen. Thank you so much.